invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And we don't do anything fancy here. We're just going to take a few moments to focus on our breath, to focus on the breaths we are receiving at our own rate, at our own pace, without judgment. And the intention for this little exercise, well, you can create your own, but at least let's intend to just simply become a little bit more present, let go of where we've been earlier in the day, what we're thinking about, just bring our attention right here into the present moment. We'll take a few moments silently to just focus on the breaths. Okay, so tonight I just want to spend a couple of minutes talking about the concept that we use here that we refer to as we are here for a reason. We are here for a reason. That's the concept. So what does it mean? I always interpret this on two levels. The first being we're here as spiritual beings having a human experience, getting born on purpose for a purpose or for multiple purposes to have the very lives that we are currently living in the bodies that we are currently inhabiting. And all of that was for a reason, is for a reason. So again, that's a belief in and of itself. And yet it can very much help on a day-to-day basis, because the other layer at which I think that this concept operates is, so if it's true that I got born on purpose for a purpose, that my family is my family, not by accident, but because it's serving my higher purpose, that the gender I am or am not, the body I have, the where I live, what my religion is, what my culture is, what my race is, what any of it is all 100% by design, signed up for, volunteered for. The other level that I think this concept operates on, that I started to say, is on a minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day basis. So when we find ourselves in situations and circumstances that are just not so much to our liking, or even if they are very much to our liking, that it's all for us, but we usually complain about the things we don't like. And it really is this idea that there are no accidents. On a spiritual level, spiritual being having a human experience, awake and aware of that, conscious of that, living life from that perspective, no longer believes that anything is accidental. Everything has purpose, everything has meaning, everything has value. Now, sometimes we struggle with this particular concept, I think, when things kind of aren't going our way so much. And we might say things like, well, I've been working on this for a long time and it's not changing. Or I keep winding up in this same dynamic. Or any number of, let's just say, unpleasantries we experience in the course of our lives. And hopefully for any of us here that there isn't much of that. But here in spiritual workout world, we tend to uh, talk with people who are struggling with at least some aspect of their life. And so what I'm intending to underscore here is whatever that is, whatever's going on, is 100% happening for you, even if it doesn't look that way. What I love about living life as a spiritual being having a human experience is, for me anyway, and I think what guided me into onto this path was a whole bunch of stuff in my life that just didn't seem like it made any sense at all. Uh, so for me personally, I'm sure I'm not the only one, as I sought to make meaning of some of the things, this was what really helped. Knowing that, oh, there's this other part of me, this soul part of me, the being part of the human being I am, it is operating on a totally different level. I always get the image of like a periscope, right? So I'm just here where I am, seeing what I see, but it's like our the being parts of us, our souls have, you know, vision that's way higher up. So it's like a periscope coming out of our heads. And part of us can see and know a whole lot more than what's going on here. Now, that doesn't mean automatically we get the answer on the spot. Here I am in this not so pleasant situation, or this frustrating situation, or this unpleasant situation. I'll accept that it's for me, but what the heck is, why is it happening? I don't get it. I don't know why. And so that material, as far as I've seen in practice, is different for all of us. You know, sometimes it becomes very obvious what the reason is for something. I'm here for a reason and this is it. Sometimes it connects very specifically to something we just kind of recently did last week, last month, last year, and we can see in this time space continuum, yeah, that's a direct result of something I did at some point in time. Sometimes it's like that, but oftentimes it's not so simple. Oftentimes the act of answering the question, well, why am I here? I get that I'm here for something, but what is the something? Can be elusive. But I also don't want to imply that it's impossible to learn. Sometimes we don't need to know exactly why. Sometimes we really want to know exactly why. I suggest that if that's the case, we can always know. We're always guided. We're always receiving inspiration. Listen to inspiration. We can ask for assistance from our guides to help us with clarity and understanding. Um, there are all kinds of things we can do as we inquire, but it really does have to start with that notion that it's for something, that it's not an accident. And I've also seen, again, in my own life and in my practice, that the more we sort of take on this inquiry and the more willing we are to have it not be like a regular research project, but something that's operating on that more 5D level, as we allow the process to unfold in its own way, in its our own time. That's another key feature of quote unquote figuring out, well, why the hell am I in this situation? And again, that being that the way spirit communicates and the way we receive our guidance is just tends to be nonlinear, tends to be very different from the way we're used to doing it. So all of that is to say it might not turn out to be like a regular Google research project where you know, tap the keys a few times and poof, there's your answer. On the other hand, it might come immediately. So I just really wanted to take a moment tonight to really expound upon this concept a little bit. Again, it's sort of those two layers, here on purpose for a purpose in my life, here on purpose for a purpose in any given moment. And that's it. So, of course, I always welcome your comments and questions about this. And most importantly, let's just take note of a nice deep breath that we're going to receive together right now. Hold on to the goodies, let go of the baddies. We'll come back, and what I was intending to say is now we'll talk about what you want to talk about.